This is CBS 46 News at 6. Getting results.
And potentially dangerous storms surging into metro Atlanta. Nothing like the tornado outbreak from a couple of weeks ago, but enough to cause concern. Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez begins our team coverage for us. Jen.
Oh yeah, and it's just a nasty afternoon, and this will translate to a nasty evening. We're looking at gusty winds and heavy rain with some lightning and thunder, and some of these storms could still briefly become severe. I know we've really been lucky. None of the storms have been severe, but we do have a low risk of severe weather. On a scale of 1 to 5, it's a level 1 risk or a marginal risk. Just means at any point, one of these storms could briefly become severe with 58+ mile-an-hour winds, frequent lightning, and even large hail. Thus far, though, it's just been a rain and gusty wind event. That's exactly what we're seeing right now on CBS 46 Pinpoint Radar. Some of the strongest storms, or at least where we've seen the most lightning and thunder, has been with this line that continues to extend into Floyd County, now moving into Bartow County, eventually into Cherokee County. This line ahead of it moving through Cobb County into northern Fulton County. No lightning and thunder here, but we're seeing some brief gusty winds and some heavy downpours approaching the Cobb Cloverleaf. Then as we head a little further to the south and east, this is the initial line that moved through from Athens, Clark County. That extends down to Madison. So we'll continue to see these waves of rain off and on as we head through the evening. Some of them will have lightning with some strong gusty winds. 100% chance of rain tonight as we drop down to 52 degrees. The good news is once we get past midnight, that rain ends. Could see a brief shower in the North Georgia mountains tomorrow. Otherwise, it will be dry, and it will stay dry through the weekend. Before we talk about the weekend, we do have to get through tonight. Because of that, we do have team weather coverage, and we'll pinpoint exactly the storms will move over your neighborhood coming up.
And Jen, with all that rain, you know what comes next. Trees are falling across metro Atlanta. Video from Ansley Park neighborhood. Take a look. Shows one tree at the corner of East Pelham Road and Piedmont Avenue. Meteorologist Molly McCullum continues our team coverage outside the CBS 46 Cool Ray Road Tracker. Molly.
Sean, this is off Old Plantation Road near West Paces Ferry in Fulton County. Nice neighborhood where we had a big tree come down earlier this afternoon. Thankfully, they have been able to clear this tree off the road. They have restored power in this area, and it did not hit any houses. We have one lone power crew that is still on scene. But they have been, we were here earlier where they had multiple power crews all fixing this one area, of course, where we had this very large tree come down. And if you heard Jennifer and Ella talking about this all afternoon long, we have not had any severe storms, but the wind has been strong enough, and we've seen enough rain recently in April with back-to-back severe weather threats that it does not take much to bring a big, healthy, large tree like this down. And that's why we're in storm mode this afternoon for this very reason. Yes, you may not be seeing widespread thunderstorms in your area, but this can happen with just a little bit of wind and of course all of the rain that we've seen recently. So Jennifer and Ella, they're of course going to have the latest update with the forecast in a few minutes, and we're going to be continuing to look for damage in the metro Atlanta area and keeping you safe. In Fulton County, Molly McCullum, CBS 46 News.
Thank you, Molly. Well, now is the time to download the powerful CBS 46 streaming app. It's available for free for Apple and Android users.
Breaking at 6 o'clock, Atlanta police working to find a man's killer. CBS 46's Brittany Edney joins us live on Camilla Lane, where a man was apparently, Brittany, shot in the head.
Yeah, that's right, Sean, and we're a little far back from where that happened, about a block or two or so, and that's because security has pushed us back to this point, but it happened between two apartment buildings. I can tell you that investigators shared with me today that a man around, estimated to be about 39 or 40, was shot and killed after he got out of his white Escalade and got into some kind of argument with another man. That man then started shooting and killed that victim. Police also tell me that from there, the suspect got into a car. They believe it to be a gray Jeep Compass or Jeep Liberty. It was being driven by another woman. Police working on trying to get some tag information, details on that. They have been talking to witnesses this afternoon and also going over some of their surveillance video that they've been gathering from nearby and around this area. Right now, not quite sure of the motive, but they do believe that the two men knew each other, so this isn't any kind of random act of violence. But a lot of the neighbors just couldn't get over how this happened, you know, in broad daylight.
This area is so pleasant. I lived a lot of places in my life, and I always wondered why I never lived here at first. People are great. Everything's wonderful here. This is so rare.
This evening, police still trying to figure out whether or not that victim, or even the suspect for that matter, whether they lived in any of these apartment complexes, because they're lined all across these streets that we're currently right by. So they're still working on that as well. Of course, anyone with any information, whether on the shooting or maybe possibly having spotting that vehicle, that gray Jeep Compass or Liberty, you are asked to contact Crime Stoppers and help police with this investigation. Reporting live in Atlanta, I'm Brittany Edney, CBS 46 News.
I'm Alicia Roberts at the live desk. Breaking here at 6 o'clock. Emory University playing a major role in developing a coronavirus vaccine. Right now, more than 100 people at Emory are taking part in a clinical study. The drug being used has Dr. Anthony Fauci's approval.
The data shows that remdesivir has a clear-cut, significant positive effect in diminishing the time to recovery. This is really quite important.
Yeah, and get this, that recovery time dropping from 15 to 11 days, significant potentially in the development of a treatment for the virus. Right now from the live desk, Alicia Roberts, CBS 46 News.
Thanks, Alicia. Governor Brian Kemp postponing an important decision that he has to make.
An announcement on whether or not to extend the current shelter-in-place order is now scheduled for tomorrow. CBS 46's Haley Mason joins us live with that part of the story tonight.
Sean, the governor's office just sent me that big update late this afternoon that he won't make an announcement on his decision on the shelter-in-place order until tomorrow, and they don't know the time. Meanwhile, when it comes to malls like these who were planning to reopen this weekend, they don't know if that's going to be the case. While some sheltered in place, others began trickling into salons, restaurants, movie theaters, and this weekend, possibly some local malls.
I have serious concerns about our prematurely opening up the state.
Epidemiologist Dr. Harry Hyman tells me that testing and contact tracing is still lagging too far behind for this type of movement. Governor Kemp's office says they're still working on a decision on whether to extend the shelter in place or continue loosening it.
If he doesn't renew the shelter in place that's due to expire, we can anticipate an increasing surge of cases. And I think that would be really unfortunate and irresponsible.
Hyman says the state needs to be doing between 10,000 and 15,000 coronavirus tests each day. Yesterday, the state just reached an all-time testing high of 12,000 tests.
We need to have not only certain data in place.
Hyman says Georgia not only needs more drive-through tests, but long-term walk-in test sites in places where people may not own cars.
Particularly in urban centers. And particularly in low-income minority urban neighborhoods, but also in rural areas. And we're not even beginning to build up that capacity.
And Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms has been very outspoken about wanting people to stay home. Her office sent us this statement saying in part that she has a strong working relationship with the governor, but disagrees with him on this particular matter. The mayor's advisory committee to reopen Atlanta is working to present recommendations to the mayor by May 15th. Reporting live in Buckhead, Haley Mason, CBS 46 News.
Haley, thank you. First it was toilet paper, now it's fresh meat that people are having a hard time finding at the grocery store. Meat processing plants nationwide are closing. Employees are catching the coronavirus. Healthy co-workers refuse to come in because they don't want to get sick. CBS 46's Adam Murphy explores how close Georgia is to experiencing a meat shortage.
It's not unusual to find bare shelves when looking for paper products at the grocery store. But now, one of the largest meat manufacturers in the nation is warning there could be a limited supply of chicken, beef, and pork on shelves in the coming days.
The product that consumers may see on the shelves may not be the cut that they're most used to.
Dale Sandlin is the executive vice president of the Georgia Cattlemen's Association. He said there has been an outbreak of COVID-19 at various processing plants around the country.
Sure. So here in the state of Georgia, our processing plants remain open. They were, as of yesterday, they were running full speed, full capacity.
Not the case, though, in other areas of the nation. Tyson Foods has been forced to close some of their facilities. The chairman of the company said millions of pounds of meat will disappear from the supply chain.
From all indications that we're seeing here in Georgia, that's not the case. We're not expecting to see any of that.
Here in Georgia, there is no need to hoard any meat products. Just buy what you normally would and know that if it becomes more of a local issue, the Cattlemen's Association will work with other states to keep pumping in product. In Gwinnett County, Adam Murphy, CBS 46 News.
A partnership to get people back to work. The Georgia Department of Labor and Juvenile Justice are hosting a job fair Thursday, May 14th. It begins at 10 a.m. at the Thompson Career Center. The goal is to hire correctional officers. For weeks, we've been telling you about the thousands of Georgians who are still trying to get their state unemployment benefits.
Some are on the verge of homelessness in Cartersville. Better Call Harry is getting results for a Little League umpire who had to move into his car.
Tim Brown is an umpire who's not used to looking at home plate from here.
Never thought I'd be in this situation at my age, but like I say, you never can say never in this world anymore.
Brown coaches Little League at Lake Point in Cartersville. It's a 30-acre complex, but the seats are empty, the gates are locked, and there's no telling when Brown can safely say play ball.
I have to be honest, I can't think of anything more un-American than an out-of-work Little League umpire.
Yeah, that's probably right too.
Brown was making $500 to $600 a week. Strike one was losing that. Strike two, losing his weekday job at a warehouse. And strike three, losing his home.
Tell me about your new residence.
Mercury Grand Marquis right here. Got my clothes in here. That's my bed. I have to lay it back, get some rest at night.
His world is in his car, and it never should have happened because weeks ago he was approved for unemployment. He's due $650, but no one knows where it is. Mr. Brown keeps driving over to the Department of Labor in Cartersville, but every time he comes here, the doors are locked, and like so many people, he can't get through. That's why we contacted Georgia's Department of Labor, and Brown got a call.
Hello, this is Tim.
To get him out of his car and back on his feet, the DOL spent the afternoon trying to figure out where the money went.
Again, I really appreciate it. Thank you for the Georgia DOL.
You think that will protect you from COVID-19? At least it's a mask.
Here's an ump who doesn't take anything for granted, not anymore. Tim is still waiting for his money, but isn't calling foul.
Just try to be a positive person. It's been tough here lately. It's been very, very tough here lately, but I've had my bad days, but I'm grateful to the Lord for what I do have.
In Cartersville, I'm Better Call Harry, CBS 46 News.
Wow. Good news, though. We have just learned the Department of Labor is giving Mr. Brown a new way to go debit card. They have also walked him through the process to get his benefits directly deposited.
They have a collection of colorful masks. I can't even find one. Well, right now, instead of a mask, you probably need an umbrella. We have periods of heavy rain across all of North Georgia, and these lines of showers and storms continue to roll on through, some of them producing some gusty winds and some very heavy downpours. This line here moving through northwest Georgia, heading from Cartersville towards the Cherokee County area, so from Bartow County to Cherokee County, from Calhoun, as this heads towards Dawson County. Then we have another batch of rain through northern Fulton County, heading towards Big Creek into Cobb County. Some heavy showers just on the west side of Georgia 400. This is near Milton and Alpharetta, near North Point Mall, some heavy showers there. And then we have another batch of rain to the south and east of that. So we're seeing breaks in between these areas of rain, but certainly these showers are relentless and they'll continue through the next several hours. Some of these could briefly become severe. We've been very lucky. We have not had any severe weather thus far this afternoon, but we could see some strong gusty winds, some very heavy downpours within these thunderstorms as they continue to push to the south and east. Even at 8 o'clock, we're still talking about heavy downpours across metro Atlanta. It's not until about 11 o'clock or midnight that this rain finally starts to push out. Once it does, it will be cooler and breezy for tomorrow. But until then, we are looking at a wet night and a windy night. For more on the threats this evening, we're going to head over to meteorologist Ella Dorsey.
Yeah, you could probably tell outside today, even before the rain moved in, it was very windy. That's what we're seeing right now, wind gusts between 20 to even 30 miles per hour. That wind is going to continue to blow even when it's not raining this evening. But the actual damaging wind risk within the storms is low. Only a 5% chance of seeing damaging winds, and damaging winds are considered 60 mile per hour or higher. So that threat is low. Also, tornado threat very low, and only 2% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a point in Georgia. The reason that the severe risks are so low with this storm system is there's no instability. Instability is a measure of the energy, so the moisture and the wind and all of the heat in a storm system. You can see through the evening there's just very low energy for this storm system to work with, and because of that, we are going to remain in storm mode. We will continue to watch it, but we are not thinking that we will see many severe storms. Jen?
Yeah, and exactly what we needed. It's been a very active April. So again, storms possible. Actually, storms likely. Severe storms are possible, but not as likely. We could see 1 or 2 tonight, but for the most part, all eyes on tomorrow. Much cooler, and it will be breezy. Highs only in the mid-60s tomorrow, with a high of 64 in Atlanta, 63 in Canton, 63 in Gainesville. That coupled with partly sunny skies and that breeze will make it feel pretty chilly. Notice those raindrops in Ellijay. Could see some stray showers in the North Georgia mountains tomorrow, so don't want to rule that out, although it should stay dry here in metro Atlanta. Once that cool air gets out of here, it will warm up. Low 70s on Friday, 80s this weekend. And as we head into next week, in fact, we have an amazing weekend ahead. 80 on Saturday, 86 on Sunday. And the reason I'm so excited about this, with the exception of the sunshine in the 80s, is we have had rain almost every weekend this month. And not only rain, we've had severe weather almost every weekend this month. So I love to report that we have not only a dry and sunny weekend, but a warm weekend ahead. We do have that rain returning in the forecast early next week. On Monday and Tuesday, we'll see some showers, but as of now, it is a low chance of rain, and we'll keep it warm. Highs won't even drop to the 70s until next Wednesday.
Now, CBS